I'm your host, Marsha Florence with Just Ask. Today, our show is Community Living Services. Hurry back and join us. Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence with Just Ask. Today, our show is Community Living Services. And we have the Public Relations Director with us, Tiffany Devon. Morning, Tiffany.
Good morning.
Glad to have you with us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome. Now, Tiffany, I want to start off with some information about Community Living Services and your role there.
Okay. Community Living Services is a nonprofit in Wayne County. We also have an office in Oakland County and in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky. We just opened that. We are a nonprofit that offers services and supports to folks with developmental disabilities. We support about 2,700 folks in Wayne County, over 200 in Oakland, and we just opened in Kentucky, so about 20 people. Basically, we offer the gamut for folks, whatever they need. If they need a social worker, if they need to get out in the community and get a job, housing, anything like that, that's what we offer.
Okay, now how long has this organization been in existence?
Over 20 years we've been around. Originally we were state-owned, and that was when almost everyone with a disability was in an institution in Michigan. And so our mission and our goal was to shut down those institutions. People obviously weren't being treated well at all, and we really felt strongly that there had to be a better life. So we started closing the institutions down, and now we've become a nonprofit, and folks have really gotten a chance to know what freedom is all about. They're able to have their own choices and how they choose where to live and with who to live, and that's called self-determination.
Okay. And what is your role there?
My role as a public relations director is to get the word out about community living services, let people know if they have a disability and they need some supports and services, they can call us. Also, we have a big group that always goes to Lansing to make sure that the legislators up there know who we are and what the issues that affect people with disabilities are all about, and make sure that, you know, Medicaid's not being cut, make sure that they know that we have a loud and clear voice about housing, transportation, all the issues that affect all of us, but especially people with disabilities.
Okay. So the overall mission for Community Living Services is what?
It's all based on self-determination. Okay. It's all about freedom, giving people the authority to take control of their life, to make choices for whatever they want to do. If they want to live with Joe, let them live with Joe. We'll find a way to get them a home. It's all about having you and what you and I have different goals and plans for our lives, and so do people with disabilities. They're not any different. We all have the same things that we want. We want to be loved. We want to have a house or a nice place to live. We want to be able to get to and from work. Basically, crafting a meaningful life is what self-determination is all about.
Okay. Now, I know you guys have several programs that you offer, and one of them in particular is the person-centered planning. What is that?
Well, that became a state law in 1996, and what that means is when our social workers visit folks, we talk about a person-centered plan. What do you want in your life? What do you want to do? Do you want to work? Do you want to start your own small business? Would you like to travel a little bit? How do we get funds for you that'll allow you to do the things with your life that you want to do? So person-centered plan is basically every year we talk about your plan and your goals and have you accomplished what you want to, just like January 1st, I sit down and write down all my goals for the year. A person-centered plan is very similar to that.
Okay, that's wonderful. Now, you know, we're not familiar with Community Living Services, and so I want to thank you for contacting us, and that's noteworthy of you to say, well, we want to be on the Just Ask Talk Show, so we really appreciate you coming. And I think this will be an eye-opener because a lot of people, especially in the Wayne County area, will not be familiar, and once they see this show, you guys would get a flood of calls. Well, that's a good thing. So, but it seems as though what you're telling me is that a lot of people with disabilities don't get a chance to speak their own mind and be their own advocate for the services that they feel that they need.
Absolutely.
Okay, and
Absolutely.
this organization, is this an organization pretty much that allows them to be themselves and make decisions wholeheartedly themselves?
Yes.
Okay.
If they need assistance, obviously, people have circles of support. They have folks that are surrounded by them that they love, family, friends. We have several people that have live-in companions where the person started out as a staff person in their home and, helped them with their daily things, whatever they needed. But then they had such a good relationship, the staff person's now a live-in companion.
Okay.
So we have several committees at Community Living Services that have a real loud, strong advocacy voice that go up to Lansing on a regular basis, know legislators by first name, call them up when something's going on. If there's an issue in transportation or housing or Medicaid, they're on the phone.
That's
so,
great.
We just help a little bit, but they take over, and they are really the ones who are doing the work.
That's great. What are some of the trends that you see in the human service field?
I think one of the trends is after folks moved out of group homes or moved out of institutions, they were put in group homes, or if they were lucky enough, they could stay with their family. But we're being told now, we've done some research, and a lot of the group homes are larger, maybe 5 or 6 people, and people are saying, I just want to move in with Marsha. I just want her to be my roommate. So
Not a problem.
we're talking about, reducing that large group home into a smaller home apartment. We have a program with a subsidiary company of ours called Liberty Hill Housing that helps people find homes, builds accessible homes, and folks are signing on the dotted line and they're owning their own homes.
Wow.
So that's a big trend.
That is. That's wonderful. Yeah. Wow, I tell you what, Tiffany, we're going to take a break, and ladies and gentlemen, we got to come back with some more good information about community living services. We'll be right back.
Do you know that stroke targets by color? Odds are, if you're African American, you're twice as likely to suffer a stroke as white Americans. Know where you stand, because beating the odds isn't about winning, it's about living. Join the power to end stroke at strokeassociation.org.
And welcome back to the second half of the show. For those of you who are just now joining us, we have the Public Relations Director, Tiffany Devin of Community Living Services with us. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know that you all are sitting there saying to yourself, I never heard of these people. Well, after today, since you know you heard of them now, you need to give them a call, especially if you have a family member who is in need of some type of services. I believe you should comfortably ask the question. The name of the show is Just Ask. Just call the individuals that you see on the show and just ask them a question and see if they can assist you in something that you may be in need of. Now, Tiffany, I had to get that out because a lot of people always feel like when you see someone on TV, they can't call and ask a question, or like, wow, I wonder how can I just find out more. So we want to encourage our viewers to find out more. And I know you guys are a nonprofit, so you have an 800 number?
Yes, 1-866-381-7600.
Okay.
And we have a website. It's www.comliveserve.com.
Okay. We're going to put that up for you and have you tell us that again. What's that number?
866-381-7600.
And the website?
www.comliveserv.com.
Okay. And we'll have that at the bottom of our screen shortly. Okay. Now, we left off with some good information. So basically, I had some questions for you. What is People First?
People First language.
People First
Very
language.
important. And that's one of my roles as a public relations person, to get to know the media, talk to them about People First language. It's about calling people Marsha, Tiffany, not, oh, you're autistic, you're dyslexic. Let's get rid of the labels. Let's talk about our abilities. Let's not talk about our disabilities. And it's a real knowledge, educational type campaign for a lot of people who still now in 2007, we still refer to people with disabilities by their disability.
Right.
And we really need to focus on the abilities. Let's focus on the positive. We all have I'm impatient, I have a disability. That's how I look at it. Everybody has one. Let's focus on the positive. That's what
You
it's
know,
about.
and you hit it on the head when people have a habit, especially if two people have the same name. There's two Johns in the room, and you know, you're trying to refer to which John. And instead of saying John who sits over in the desk in the corner or whatever, then somebody will say, you know, John in the wheelchair, or tall John, you know, oh, not that John, you know, John. And to me, to distinguish someone, you don't have to tie in their disability. You can actually think of something else, but people have a habit, they want to tie in the term of the disability. And so if people's first language is to erase that, that's a good concept for sure. And that's good. Now, what are some of your advocacy developments in Lansing?
Well, there is an annual event called Walk a Mile in My Shoes. They have it in May. And folks from every county in the state go up to the Capitol and rally in support of disability rights. And legislators are invited, the governor is invited. We go up there and we just basically voice our concerns about what's going on and focus on the different positive things throughout the state. It's quite an event. So we do that every year. We have a big group of folks from CLS that go, and periodically we go and testify in front of the appropriations committees or anything that's going on that's related to folks with disabilities where legislators need to hear what we have to say.
Great. Okay. Now, you have a conference that you guys are working on for 2008. What's that about?
It's an international conference on self-determination. So it's really a gathering from people all over the world who are converging on Detroit, which is pretty exciting, at the Detroit Renaissance, Marriott Renaissance. Okay. It's in May, and we're all going to get together and talk about, okay, this is what we're doing. This is how we've talked about freedom. This is how people have choice and opportunity there in their life. What are we going to do in the future? You know, the Medicaid system is very complicated, complex, hard to maneuver. How can we as organizations throughout the world get together and find some solutions that'll work?
Okay, now is this part of your fundraising efforts too, or is that separate?
That is separate.
Okay.
That is separate. So as a nonprofit, obviously we have a lot of fundraising activities, and we have an annual one every year called Evening with Friends. It's in September. And usually we have about 700 people that come to dinner, and we have a beautiful award ceremony, and we focus on recognition awards for folks who have done some outstanding stuff this year. Maybe they got a job, and 2-3 years ago, maybe they never wanted to get out of the house. So it's really a real wonderful event. We also have awards for folks that have just gone above and beyond any of your wild imagination to help people. And so September 13th is the date, and we're really looking forward to it.
Now I can imagine to have such an event is very heartfelt and warm, not only for the people who are putting it on, but the actual persons who are receiving the awards or the people who are attending. And most of those are the clients themselves, persons with disabilities?
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
It's also a business expo. So part of the night, which is real fun, is anybody who has a small business can come and set up a booth and sell whatever they have, their products and services. And a lot of people that we have sell out of stuff. I mean, there's like handmade greeting cards and like first aid kits and t-shirts, and so it's really a great opportunity to network with people too, hand out your business card, that kind of thing.
Okay. Now, we're going to see some things this in the last half of the show, but I wanted to find out, what is it, micro
enterprises?
Micro enterprise.
Right. Basically a small business. Somebody can set up a small business, and it's a real popular thing that people are starting to either, you know, if they're into knitting, maybe they'd like to start a little business, sell their stuff at craft shows, that kind of thing. We have several gentlemen that we support who have shredding businesses, and they get their customers and they go there and they shred their papers and that kind of thing. So, you know, it's all about opportunity. I could be a small business owner, so could you. Why can't somebody with a disability?
So you guys can help a person get started.
Absolutely.
Okay, and give them some of the leeways on how to develop and design a small business?
Yes, and a business plan, a marketing plan. They usually work with their staff or with their personal agent, which is what we call our social workers, to design a marketing plan that would work for them. And then we go from there.
So Tiffany, I understand you brought some video footage for us today, and I want you to give you a chance to tell me what we're going to see.
Okay, it's a CD about self-determination, which we've been talking about, freedom, choice, responsibility, and it really focuses on 3 or 4 individuals across the state and what they're doing with their lives. One of the gentlemen has his own dog treat business where he actually bakes the treats in his house and then he goes and he sells them. And there's another gentleman who's a motivational speaker, and he goes throughout the Oakland County school system and talks to children about drinking and driving and don't drink and drive and that kind of thing. So it's really a real nice highlight piece about what people are doing in their lives and why freedom and choice and authority and responsibility are so important to all of us. And so that's what it's about.
The sound of a happy canine wolfing down some delicious homemade treats, courtesy of Genesee County resident and business owner Dan Sturgis, owner of Canine Cuisine Pet Treats.
Started seriously thinking about it when we went to the Midland Academy for self-determination. They helped us do his business budget and write out the plan. He was really excited about it. He was telling us everything he wanted to do as far as making the treats, and he wanted to do the bandanas and have all the little display bowls.
Victoria is Dan's older sister. Dan knows that she's always there to listen and, if need be, to help. And Victoria knows that when Dan wants something, there's no stopping him. It's a bond that's worked out perfectly, especially when Dan's need for self-determination and independence began to take center stage in his life. Victoria says it took about 3 years to get everything in place for Dan to take control of his life and pursue the independent lifestyle he's wanted for years. He moved away from his family, got an apartment, and started a business.
His life, he has a life. He has dreams. He has just opportunities here that we would have never have thought that he would have had.
I was the class clown. I was always joking around and not paying much attention to my studies. I goofed off a lot in school. I only wanted to be there to hang out with my friends. When I was 19 years old, I was out at a friend's house drinking beer and smoking marijuana. I felt fine, so I decided to drive home. At some point, I lost control of the car and hit a telephone pole. In that 1 second, my life was changed forever.
Okay, Mr. Perry, for the wonderful presentation. I really learned a lot, like about disability, and that there are not difference from anybody else, meaning that you are no different from anyone else.
That's precisely the kind of emotional involvement Dan is looking for when he presents to students. Age doesn't matter to Dan. He's presented to audiences as young as 6 years old, but to teenagers, his message really hits home.
I also tried to educate people about disability awareness, empowerment, and self-determination. I try to inspire people to focus on the good things they have going for them in their lives, and I hope to encourage people to make good decisions and to aim high when planning for their futures.
Before his career as a motivational speaker, Dan led a team through an intense rehabilitation program in Oakland County. The secret to his success?
I just think the biggest thing, and I said it before, was having a team of people work with you who love you and have faith in you, and you inspire each other.
And welcome back to the last half of our show. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Tiffany Devlin has given us a handful, or rather a lot of information that I know that you obtained, and I'm hoping that you get the phone number as well as the website. So now that we're back, we're going to get that phone number again from her and the website. And we have some additional guests on the stage with us today, and they are individuals who have their own business, and this is an added plus. So we want those of you at home to see this piece and know that you can contact Community Living Services and see about getting your own business started. If you're a homebody person, or if you just want general information for someone you know with a disability, please feel free to contact them. So, Tiffany, can I get that phone number from you again?
Yes,
Okay.
866-381-7600.
Okay, and the website?
www.comliveserve.com.
Okay. And we want to start off with the first nice young lady next to you, and that's Dorothy Keene, small business owner for Dorothy to the Rescue. Hi, Miss Dorothy.
Hi, Miss Marshall.
How are you?
Fine.
Good, good. Now, Dorothy, I've learned something about you by getting a wonderful article that Tiffany had sent to me in the mail. And ladies and gentlemen, I must admit I was taken by reading about Dorothy to the rescue. And she has designed a first aid kit, Dorothy, is that what it is?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay, now she's holding up a first aid kit. And so, Dorothy, tell me a little bit about the first aid kit.
My name is Dorothy King. I'm from Community Choices Supported Employment. I have a job developer that I work with. Her name is Wendy Cronin.
Okay, now Wendy helped you get your program started?
No, I'm the one that got this started.
Okay, okay.
But she was the one who helped me.
All right. Okay, now I have one of the kits in my hand here, and this is a nice size kit, so we have to get a shot of this kit here. Okay, so I'm going to flip it open so you guys can see it. And so Dorothy's picture is on each one of the kits. But this is a first aid kit right here?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and so I see we have some eye care solution, okay, for emergencies, Band-Aids of all sizes, and gauze. Okay, so this is mainly the kits that you put together?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and even got little surgical scissors here. All right, okay. And so you have one in your hand. And,
Yes, I do.
Okay, and that's one for like a personal kit that a person can carry around with them?
Yes, they could carry it in a diaper bag.
Okay.
Or they could carry it in their purse or in their car.
All right. And you have one that's a dog kit?
Yes, that's my
Okay.
doggy kit.
Okay, Tiffany, can you bring that forth to us and let us see? So you have one that's for a dog, okay, and then those items for when your animal is hurt?
When your animal is hurt, there's a lot of supplies that are in there that would be like doggy treats,
Okay.
a leash, gloves, gauze, and a flea comb.
Okay. Well, wonderful. So, okay, Dorothy, we learned a lot that you have a variety of kits, and you have your own brochure too. So,
Yes,
you
I
know,
do.
if people have a question, they can always get a brochure.
Yes.
And contact you by this brochure.
Yes.
All right. So that's Dorothy's kits. Let's see. Dorothy to the Rescue safety kits, and it's for individuals as well as your pets. Okay. All right. And right next to Dorothy, we have Mr. Teddy Fitzmaurice. Hi, Teddy.
Hi,
How are you?
very good.
Good. Now, Teddy, we're aware that you are a T-shirt design person, so you're making T-shirts.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. So I see the T-shirt you have on today is a nice T-shirt. Is that one of yours?
yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's a nice one. Okay. Okay. And what about the one you're wearing?
And the name's Dustin.
Okay.
That is tight.
All right. All right.
Just I love you and
Okay. Okay. Now, Tiffany, I know that Teddy has someone that he works with and everything as well, in getting his T-shirt business started.
Right. Teddy's business has been around for about a year. Teddy's Tees, and you work with somebody who helps you design the T-shirts
Ohio.
in Ohio, right? And that T-shirt that you're wearing,
Yeah,
you
I
designed.
made that.
You made the T-shirt.
Okay. Okay.
And that's
The most popular seller too. That
And
one.
I have to admit, this is going to be the next popular seller. Now, this one here says, "Feel the power of the disability vote." That's a good T-shirt.
Like
Okay.
this one too.
It's okay. All right. So, Teddy, you have another one in your hand.
Yeah.
Okay. And that one you have.
You say peace.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Yeah, Morrison in there too.
Okay. And we get a shot of that pretty T-shirt. All right. Thank you, Teddy.
And the bags.
Okay. Okay. And oh, yes, right. And we have Teddy's bags. Okay.
After
Okay.
that,
Okay, Teddy is also designing bags. Alrighty.
they're called Amish.
Okay. Nice bags.
Oh, bumper stickers.
And bumper stickers
And
and
bumper
buttons.
stickers.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Buttons.
So
Buttons and bumper stickers.
Teddy has a lot of stuff for us here too. All right. Okay. And you may be able to contact Teddy as well. All right. And on the far end there, we have Mr. Andre Robinson, a disability advocate. Hey, Mr. Robinson.
How you doing?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Now, what good news can you tell us about the folks in Lansing?
I belong to a lot of groups. One of them is the Michigan Developmental Disabilities Council, which is what we do is set policy to try to change laws for people with disabilities. And we try to influence the lawmakers to understand that we deserve to live the life like everybody else, to have freedom of choice and freedom to make decisions whether and take risks.
All right. Well, I tell you what, they got the right person on board there.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, I'm going to tell you something, Tiffany, this couldn't have been done without you, all right? So we do want to give word back to your VP and let them know that you've done a wonderful job, representing Community Living Center and, Community Living Service. Let me get that correct. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to take time out and recognize a lot of these agencies and find out what they do and how you can become involved. You can't just say to yourself, oh, well, I don't know anyone. There's always someone. If it's the next door neighbor, if it's a cousin, distant relative, there's always going to be someone that you can provide this information to and share the knowledge. Now, let me ask you this. Now, so, Tiffany, this Community Living Service brochure, can anyone call and get a copy, or
Yes.
how will they find out information?
They can call our 1-800 number, 866-381-7600, and request any information, and we will send it to them. They can also visit our website, www.comliveserve.com, and request an information packet, and we'll be happy to send it to them.
Okay, and so your office is located where?
We're in Wayne, Michigan, off Michigan Avenue.
But you handle the entire Wayne County area?
Wayne County, Oakland County, yes.
Wayne County and Oakland County. Okay. So that part is really good to know. And like I said, I want to thank you for your patience to come and see us all this time going by. And Dorothy, Teddy, and Andre, we couldn't have made this show without you.
Thank you. I got right set too.
Okay, you do. Okay, Teddy, you got a lot of stuff that you're making there. Okay, so you're going to be the next big time businessman in a minute. Okay. And so, Andre, should I look for you anytime soon on the legislation so I can find out what's going on and what changes?
You can. Actually, I will also work in the community development department at CLS. I started in May. It started in June. So you can contact me through Andre A. Robinson at www.comliveserve.com.
Okay. So we also, so if anyone needs some information about what's going on, they can also contact you at the Community Living Services?
Yes.
Okay, and you have your own website under your name?
Yes, and I also have my own office number, 1734-326-7665.
Okay. So you're the person to contact when someone says, hey, I'm being mistreated in my home here. Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep that in mind, so we'll get that number, and put it out for you, too. Okay. So thank you all for coming. Okay. Well, Tiffany, thank you so much, and we hope to hear from you guys again. Please join us again.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can't get any more good information other than this when you call or write to us at justasktalkshow.org. Give us a call at 248-988-0250 if you have a show idea or if you want to contact someone here and or past guests from any of our shows. Our website is available to you at justasktalkshow.org. And I'm your host, Marsha Florence at Just Ask. And what do I always say? If you know someone with a disability or if you just have a general question, don't be afraid to ask. Just ask. I'm your host, Marsha Florence. Thank you.